Welcome to another episode of the Flood Watch podcast. Hi, I'm Congressman Mike Flood, here to bring you the latest updates from Capitol Hill, key issues shaping the debate in Washington, and news that matters most to Nebraska and the nation. Thank you for tuning in. First up, let's recap the legislative work from this week. House Republicans led the charge on legislation aimed at stopping the influence of Chinese communist organizations on college campuses. This bill, introduced by Congressman August Pfluger of Texas, specifically prohibits the Department of Homeland Security from funding higher education institutions that host known Chinese Communist Party propaganda groups, such as Confucius Institutes. It's critical that our taxpayer dollars do not support CCP propaganda in our schools. House Republicans also passed a bill that codifies President Trump's executive order renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. While this may seem like a small change, it better reflects the body of water's relationship with the neighboring continents. Both bills now move to the Senate before they can receive President Trump's signature. Looking ahead, House Republicans are focused on continuing this momentum and unity through the budget reconciliation process. For those who are just hearing about reconciliation for the first time, it's a legislative tool that only requires a simple majority in either chamber to pass, and it cannot be filibustered in the Senate. It's important to know what exactly this process allows Congress to do. First, and most importantly, reconciliation cannot be used to make any changes to Social Security. Second, any policies under this process must be directly tied to spending or the federal budget. This gives congressional Republicans the opportunity to secure major policy wins, like extending the 2017 Trump tax cuts and possibly expanding them to deliver more tax relief to hardworking Nebraskans. If these tax cuts are not renewed, the average Nebraskan will see a massive increase in their tax bill next year. For the median household income in our district, that's about $1,600 more starting next year. That simply cannot be allowed to happen. That's why House Republicans are committed to preventing what would amount to one of the largest tax hikes in American history. And finally, I want to express my appreciation to the Trump administration for expanding nationwide access to E15 this summer. As Americans hit the road across the country, this clean, affordable, and American-made fuel will not only support our corn farmers and ethanol producers here in Nebraska, it'll also help families save at the pump. Thank you once again to EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin and to President Trump for their leadership in making this a reality. And that's a wrap for this week's Flood Watch podcast. If you haven't already, I encourage you to sign up for my Flood Watch newsletter at flood.house.gov. It's the best way to stay updated on everything happening in Washington and in our district. Thank you for listening today.